Hey, attorneys, quick question for you. When you're working on a case, do you sometimes come up with multiple strategies that you think will actually yield the same results? I'm Anita Tallman over at Social Firestarter. And I want to tell you that that same scenario happens in the digital marketing world. So for us, we want to learn what it is that the law firm is trying to accomplish, right? Like, what are their goals? And then from that, we determine what our best strategies are. And sometimes we come up with more than one, and we've got to choose, like you do. What would be the best strategy that we think is going to have the highest chance of working out? And we implement. But there are some things that happen along the way. I'm sure, like when you're working on a case, sometimes you realize maybe you've got to pivot your strategy a little bit on a case. Same thing with us. The difference is that, well, sometimes it takes us a lot longer. When you implement an SEO strategy, for example, sometimes it could be 2, 3 months into it before we realize that, yeah, we need to make some tweaks to it. We need to make some modifications to that strategy. Also, with, let's say, a social media campaign, like a Facebook ad, of course, it happens much sooner, but the concept is still there. We run a Facebook ad, and then you got to see how it's working, and then you may have to change it. There's that learning curve. So in the digital marketing world, this is a common thing that you as an attorney need to be aware of. So when you're working with a digital marketing company, give them a little bit of a break. I mean, as long as there's communication. I mean, that's what I do. As client success manager, I like to meet with my law firms on a regular basis so that I can tell them what's going on, give them the good news and sometimes the bad news. Because it happens. I mean, think about it. There are factors we have no control over. I'm sure, like your case too, right? We have Google's algorithm. Well, that changes what, like 500 plus times a year? And then, well, Facebook has its own algorithm too. So we've got to also worry about that. So again, give your digital marketing company a little bit of a break if they are being communicative with you and being, pretty upfront about what's happening, and the good news and the bad news. Because again, it takes a long time. So sometimes, especially in the beginning, not a lot of good news. Progress is good news, of course, but sometimes it's not always as quick as we want to see it. Again, it's just kind of the way it is. So I hope this was helpful. And as always, if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out.